It's Jessica Coulter, and today we're going to be talking about the Pythagorean Theorem and how it applies to real life. So if you've wondered what the Pythagorean Theorem is, and you maybe know what it is, you remember the formula, but you've always kind of wondered why did you have to learn it, how does it apply to real life? Well, let me know you're there and that this is relevant to you. Just click that click or tap that like or heart button to let me know you're there and relevant to you and that you're really excited to learn all about the Pythagorean Theorem, maybe for the first time or to review it. So before we get into all of that good stuff, my name is Jessica Coulter, and in case we've never met, I am the CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. So I help students on the ACT, especially in the reading and English sections, to increase their scores. And then I love to proofread papers, and I love to help students, especially middle school students, on their math. So now that you know who I am and we've had a chance to meet, even if it's through this video, just want to move on and tell you what you really want to know, which is what the Pythagorean Theorem is and why it matters. So first, before we really get into all of that, I figure I should go over some review. Just in case, like I said, it's been a while or you've never really understood it. The formula is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So again, since we're doing this live, I should have grabbed a whiteboard for you guys or something. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. That is the Pythagorean theorem. And the point of that is you can use two side lengths of a triangle, so A and B, and you use those to figure out the hypotenuse. So that's the angled side, okay? Now just a side note, this is only going to work for right triangles. So we'll explain more about that in just a minute or two. So just know a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That is something that is going to be useful for the rest of your life, no matter if you're a stay-at-home mom or an engineer or somebody who sits in an office all day. I promise that is something you will be able to use someday from today, if not today. So I will be creating a tutorial with some actual problems, so mathematical problems if you're a student and you're working on some homework or activity, and you'll be able to get that tutorial through Facebook or YouTube, and it'll also be on my website. So if you'd like to be notified about when I post that tutorial, make sure you follow my page if you're watching this video on Facebook. That link is in the description, and you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just look for Ace Cookie Tutoring on YouTube. So now I want to give you some actual real-world examples, so that way in case you don't believe me and wondering, okay, how is the Pythagorean Theorem ever going to be useful? Well, first example I want to give you is about construction. So imagine you're building a roof, and you know kind of how long that roof is, so how long the building is that it's going to cover, as well as the height of the roof. Well, you don't necessarily know the slope. That's not something you just know. You have to calculate it. Well, that's when the Pythagorean Theorem comes into play. So, ta-da! There is a real-life use for Pythagorean Theorem. Now, you can take it even farther. Once you know the slope of that roof, you're then able to calculate the area, which we're not going to go into today, but that is something I could help you with, areas of triangles. But Pythagorean Theorem, you figure out that slope, and then you can figure out the area of the roof, so that way you know how many shingles you'll need in order to cover the roof. So, I'm hoping you're learning something, and I hope you're enjoying the video. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Positive comments are always welcome, as is a little love with that heart button or thumbs up. So now I want to tell you another real-world example. So I know one is not good enough, so here is another one for you. Now this one is also construction related, because if you're building things, you're going to need the Pythagorean Theorem, because there's going to be triangles and there's going to be squares. So whether you remember that or not, that is a little tidbit for you, that triangles make up squares, rectangles, other quadrilaterals. So that's kind of, how everything's interconnected for you. But I'm getting a little distracted here. A triangle, so specifically a right triangle like we talked about earlier, and the Pythagorean Theorem, that is going to make sure a building is square, okay? So if everything goes correctly and we do a Pythagorean triple and we have a right angle, then the hypotenuse of our triangle is going to be opposite, so across from a right triangle, a right angle. So that is how buildings end up square. If something went a little wonky, they didn't measure quite right, then that's why those walls or corners don't line up very well. They didn't kind of do Pythagorean theorem just right. So that is everything I've got for you. So if you're looking for some more information about real world examples, definitely I pulled these examples from sciencing.com, so feel free to check them out. And do also know, if you want any more help with the Pythagorean theorem or any other math concepts, make sure to follow my tutoring page, Ace Cookie Tutoring, on Facebook, or subscribe to my channel on YouTube, so depending on where you're watching this at. And do know, if you were to follow or subscribe, you'll be notified as soon as I post a video. So again, make sure you turn on notifications as soon as you follow or subscribe. And watch those videos as soon as I post them, so that way you'll be able to apply mathematical concepts to real life. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We'll see you in the next video.